When the curtain tore, it didn't just split fabric, it split history, pride, power, and every barrier between heaven and us. It was a Friday afternoon in Jerusalem. The city was bracing for Passover. Lambs were being prepared, bread was being baked, and in the temple, priests were performing their rituals just as they always had. The holy place was busy, but behind the curtain, in the Holy of Holies, it was still silent, untouchable. No one went in there, except once a year, and only one man, the high priest. He entered with fear and trembling, bearing blood, representing all the people. It was the symbol of separation. Man here, God there. But that afternoon, something happened that no priest expected. Jesus, the teacher from Galilee, nailed to a Roman cross on a hill called Golgotha, cried out and breathed his last. And just then, the earth shook, rocks split, and the curtain, the one that had stood for centuries between God and man, was torn. Not bottom to top, top to bottom, as if God himself reached down and tore apart the barrier. The priest screamed. Dust filled the air. The veil lay in tatters, and nothing was ever the same again. Modern parable. The ICU glass wall. Hospitals across the world had been filled during COVID-19. One image went viral. An elderly man, hands pressed to glass, staring at his wife of 52 years who was dying on the other side. No visitors were allowed. Not even family. Not even for goodbyes. He sat there, weeping, whispering her name through the transparent wall. So close, but he couldn't touch her. And then a nurse, breaking protocol, risking her job, rolled up a mobile phone. She placed it near the woman's ear. The old man spoke through tears, telling her he loved her, that he'd be okay. He couldn't be with her, but his voice got through. And in that moment, something in the ICU shifted. Not in policy, but in love. Teaching moment. Jesus and the broken barrier for centuries. Religion said, you stay there. God stays here. It was symbolized by that curtain. It said, you're not holy enough. You're not clean enough. You're not male enough. You're not Jewish enough. You're not important enough. But Jesus came and flipped the system. Not by storming the temple, but by surrendering on the cross. When he died, he didn't just forgive sin. He tore down the distance. The curtain in the temple said, God is unapproachable. The torn curtain says, come close, there's room. Now, you don't need a priest, you can talk to God yourself. You don't need a performance, grace is a gift. You don't need a perfect record, just an honest heart. The veil is gone, the wall is down, the king is near. What this means in today's divided world. We live in a world that's putting up new curtains every day. Political divides, social media arguments, cultural canceling, race and class walls. Churches split over style, not substance. But Jesus didn't die for people to build more barriers. He died to tear them down. If the holiest place in the world no longer has a curtain, why do we keep putting up new ones? Maybe what Jesus is asking now is this: what curtain in your heart still needs tearing? Discussion questions. Have you ever experienced barriers between you and others in the name of religion, culture, or politics?